It's time for another episode of the Joshcast. Oh, you may think so, but I've got different plans. Sorry, who are you? I am your intestinal tract. Somebody overate yesterday, and now you're going to pay for your incompetence. Can we maybe wait until after the podcast? Oh, we'll wait. But I'll always be there reminding you of how stupid you were to eat that entire dinner salad after you'd had a late lunch. You fool! You poor, poor fool. Soon, you will have no choice but to answer to me. Why do you have a British accent? I mean, really more specifically, why do you have a half-British accent? Do not interrupt me when I am monologuing! Okay, so now you're going to be basically essentially a hacky version of the bad guy from the first Incredibles film. Is that what we're talking about? So, you intend to mock me? Well, up to now, I've been debating whether or not it should be constipation or diarrhea. Constipation or diarrhea. Perhaps I should give you both! All right, okay, I'll be quiet. Thanks for the heads up. Thank you. All right, well, that's, as usual, a fun way to open the show. Talking about my bowel problems, and I wonder why I'm single. They're building some kind of apartment near where I live. Meanwhile, literally a block away under a bridge, there's a tent city. So I get to be reminded as soon as I drive to work about the increasing income disparity that exists and the rising level of poor and lower middle class people, the shrinking upper middle class, the tiny 1% that has 99% of the wealth, and that nothing anybody seems to do, nothing that anyone does seems to be helping, that there seem to be no solutions towards this, that each passing politician will promise a change to this, but will be blocked by the other party, one way or the other. And that this is all leading to some kind of major collapse, which will lead to either our extinction or to a prolonged dark ages, which was exactly predicted in Isaac Asimov's The Foundation. And so I'm watching the beginning of the end of civilization as we know it. And still, all I can think about is, oh, she's attractive. But she's out of my league. Oh, that was the other weird thing that happened. I should talk about this. This girl walks by. I'm like, oh, she's attractive. And then I go, oh, wait, she's in high school. And then I go, it's happening. I'm that guy now. Oh, it's creepy. It's creepy. That's where we're at with that. That's a... Ugh. And it would be... obviously I would never do that. I'm going to knock on wood as I say that. Why am I knocking on wood as I would say I would never do that? I'm also just going to say poo, poo, poo. Because I don't want to do it. That's against the friggin' law. What, are you kidding? And yet, these feelings are there, which is terrifying. You're not supposed to have those feelings. By God, you're only supposed to be attracted to a woman your age. You're not supposed to have these sexual feelings. But the difference, as one of my therapists taught me, is that we have feelings, we have impulses. But the good people are the people who don't act on those impulses. And the bad people are the ones who act on the impulses. So I can tell myself, Josh, you're a good person because you don't act on the impulse. You're a good person because you don't act on the impulse. But you're also a terrible person because you ate too much chicken last night. All right, we get it. I get it. I apologize to my intestines. I apologize to this attractive girl. I shouldn't be thinking of you in that way. You are way too young. I don't know, by the way, who to date. I'm 37. And anyone in their 20s, it's too young. And maybe that's a sweeping generalization. I don't know. Maybe there's a 25-year-old that is right. But I guess I don't want to be that. I don't want to end up being the guy who's 50 who's dating a 20-year-old. But what if you're in love with each other? What if it's true love? Well, I mean, even if it is true love, I still don't want to be that. But by the same token, I feel weird dating anyone my age, because anyone my age, 37, where I'm really down right now is that when you're 37, you're supposed to have your life together at 37. You're supposed to be making a comfortable income. You're supposed to be, getting settled into your career. And I am, at 37, still a struggling guy. I'm not where I want to be with my career. I'm not, I'm, like if I were in my early 20s, I'd be exactly where I should be. But I am not. And the other fun thing is that I get to be 37, not where I'm at, watch people who are 10 years younger than I am get to where they want to get to, and then feel resentful and bitter. So all of this is going on, and I just don't think that's really good first date material. So what do you do for a living? I am Skeletor, ruler of the dark side of Eternia. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Is that I didn't know that Eternia had a dark side. I rule over Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain. No, I've heard things about Snake Mountain. Yes, it's a giant snake carved into the side of a mountain. Lava flows from the snake's mouth. It sounds like it'd make a great spa. I've thought about making it into a spa, but I have other plans. I have a dream. My dream is the destruction of He-Man. Oh, He-Man. Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that the two of you were feuding. What you mean? We're on everyone knows. We're on Eternia. We're mortal enemies. I've been trying for years to kill him, and for years I've been failing. I'm growing old. And then I see these new villains come along. These hot, new, attractive young villains with different ideas and new hot takes on how to kill He-Man. So I've got to deal with that as well. It seems like you got a lot going on. I'm mostly just, I'm an accountant's receivable. Yes, I suppose that fulfilled you. I suppose that is enough. You being an accounts receivable is enough. I suppose that, and going to see a movie once in a while, and perhaps going to wine country, and having a sip of wine, all of that is enough to sustain you, but it is not enough to sustain me. I must have the universe. I must master it. And I need a queen at my side. Listen, it's good to have goals. It really is. It's good to have goals. I personally, I'd like to own a condo. That would be nice. I'd be interested in that. I'm getting the feeling that we are not compatible. Oh, I got that feeling pretty much when I sat down. I don't want to be impolite. We should, I guess, at least finish our meal. Good, Josh. Record having a loogie in the middle of your podcast. Good work. Maybe that's why I can identify with Skeletor, actually. Guy's been failing every episode. And then there's the two-parter where it's like he succeeds, maybe, but then he fails at the end. So I get it, Skeletor. I get you. I get you. I really do think it's better if a woman is attracted to me, I think it's better that she comes to me and she approaches me and I say yes or no. Like what I'm trying to do, maybe that's the whole point of why I'm even doing the stand-up, is I'm trying to go up there. I'm trying to shout to the world, hey, this is the broken mess of a human being I am. But I'm also looking for a mate. But I want whoever this mate is to know exactly how screwed up I am. And at that point, if you are still interested, you are coming in with a clear vision of what horrible things await you. And then I think I don't have to feel guilt. The notion of not having to feel guilt for me outweighs all other things. If I can enter into that relationship guilt-free, that's all I ask. I was Josh's rabbi for a while. Yes, I remember. He dabbled in Judaism. He told me about what he was doing in his life. He told me about the guilt that he felt. And I told him that he's not looking at it the right way, that what he thinks is Judaism is actually not entirely true. That it's not about just feeling guilty. The Kabbalah teaches that the universe is like a giant vase that's been broken. And it's our job to go in and pick up the pieces and put it all back together again. And that's how he should be viewing his life and relationships. It's about building something. It's actually quite positive. But he didn't take to that. He didn't take to that at all. He wanted to continue being in his place of guilt. And so we agreed that we would go our separate ways. But you need to understand, if you're listening to him, yes, he is culturally Jewish, but bear in mind that what he is saying, he does not speak for all Jews. And even he would admit this. I wouldn't call what he is doing Judaism. I would call it Joshism. It's something he's creating in his own head. He's off on his own in his own crazy world. Joshism. Let us all gather, we the Joshists, let us gather and commemorate this holy day and the holy Saint Joshua, who back in the 21st century had a divine religious experience and created an entirely new religion that is somewhat based on Judaism, but is its own beautiful poem of the human condition. Let it be known that in the year of our Lord, 2019, Joshua was visited with a vision from the Lord and Savior, God Johnson, who said unto Joshua, I am God Johnson. Yes, I have a last name, and it is Johnson. And I want to dictate to you how the universe actually works, so that you may go unto others and teach unto them my will. So know this, Joshua. I, God Johnson, created the universe not in 7 days, but in 32. That is why you did not lose your virginity until you were 32 years old. Each year commemorated a year of my creating the universe. It took me 32 days to create the universe. The first thing I created was suffering. I knew that I wanted a universe that was in pain and not perfect. Why, you ask? Because for me, the universe, suffering, joy, pain, love, life, are different colors, and suffering happens to be a kind of blue that I really like to use a lot of. I'm really a blue person. I'm not into reds and oranges. That's joy and happiness. I'm into blue, suffering, depression, misery. You could say this entire universe is my blue period. Ha 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 ha. Make sure you write down all of those H's so that thousands of years from now, your priests will have to say them out loud in the middle of their ceremonies. In fact, let's add a few other ha-ha-has for safety. Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. Ha-ha-ha-ha-ha. And know that I created the human being not in my own image. I created them to look worse than me because I want to be the most attractive person in the universe. That is why I gave them disturbing-looking genitalia. That is why I made them go bald. That is why I gave them bladder conditions. So they would constantly know that they were much less sexy than I was. I wanted to be able to visit Earth at any given moment and have no problem getting women or men. Let it be known, Joshua, that these are my rules. These are my commandments. Commandment number 1. There have been gods before me, and some of them were nice. And if you were smart, you would listen to Buddha. Commandment number 2. Do what you need to do with your parents to stay in the will. And love them, but at the same time, get the distance from them that you need. Commandment number 3. Obviously, don't kill anybody. Don't be overly mean to people, but at the same time, if somebody who's barely an acquaintance has some drama, you don't need to get yourself involved. Just don't answer the phone. Send a polite email saying, I'm sorry you're going through what you're going through, but don't get into it. Commandment number 4. Look, if the woman that you're with is married, but their relationship is falling apart, she's fair game. Commandment number 5. You really should try to take care of the environment. It doesn't matter to me because I'm omnipotent and all-powerful, but you kind of need air to live. Commandment number 6. There is no justice. The universe is not fair. I exist, but I really don't love you. You are to me what a mediocre short story was to John Cheever. Yeah, I kind of rattled it off, but I could do better. I've lost track of the number of commandments. That's good enough for now. I will give you more commandments in future dates. But know this, Joshua, and all of your followers. At the end of the day, the only thing that will save you is love and money. So as long as you have enough of both, you will be okay until you die horribly of a terrible illness inflicted upon me and or other things on the planet. Because again, I really only designed human beings to be kind of interesting and fun when they were young. And then once they get older, I don't really care.